All right, hello everyone. Let's take a look at these stream charts together. I'll also try to keep in mind that many new people have joined, so some things might be unclear to some of you. I won't over-explain everything, but I record these videos regularly, so you'll figure it out. Well, in time, perhaps. Or message me privately on Telegram. I'll answer your questions if anything about these charts is unclear to, well, any private channel members. So, now let's see what we have here. To start, well, let's look at the 4-hour candles. There they are, bottom left corner. We have a very strong oversold condition. We've hit 2 downside targets. Yes, and there are deeper ones marked with red arrows, around $77,500. Oh, see? There's an indication here that we might go down. But the strong oversold state suggests that falling further is, well, a bit difficult. Meanwhile, if we look at the hourly candles, I've moved the cursor here. Look, there's strong overbought territory, and we have a growth target and a potential bearish cross. Which one is it? Of the 50-hour and 100-hour averages. This suggests we could hit the nearest targets now, or at least move toward $80,700, reaching a strong overbought state. Note that the 15-minute is already heavily overbought, and the 5-minute will be soon. They were, but they've cooled off. And this means that when the hourly hits those targets, we could very well see Bitcoin move back down. Where to? Toward hitting these targets here. Now we need to figure out what's next. Will those targets be hit, or will it be on the 12-hour? Here they are. They're in the range of $78,700 to $77,000, which generally aligns with these 4-hour targets, and the nearest still forming target on the daily time frame, which is $78,100, roughly $77,307. So this will be clear based on the color of the 12-hour candle close, and whether we get a bullish engulfing on the 4-hour. Both of these things will, well, become clear in 2 hours and 43 minutes. So if we see that this growth ultimately ends with a red candle on the 12-hour time frame in 2 hours and 43 minutes, the current red one closes then there's a very high probability we'll go hit those downside targets and could end up around, say, $77,500 or $78,000. But if it turns out that we close the current 12-hour candle in green, the hourly might bounce around a bit in the meantime, but it'll likely head up here. So if the hourly holds for 2 hours, doesn't drop off, this overbought state won't stop it, and we close the 12-hour candles with a green candle, then potentially this will mean a likely, not guaranteed, but likely upward reversal, with further continuation up, especially since we have these signals, these 2 pink ones, right? Those are drillers. We have drillers and climbers. Drillers mean down, climbers mean up. Let me try to find some climbers somewhere. Where did we have climbers here? Well, for example, these lime-colored ones are climbers, right? And there are dark green climbers, like on the weekly time frame. So these pale pink drillers are a weak signal, but if they turn bright red, then it'll be a strong one. Just like the pale green ones are climbers, that's a weak signal. And those deep green, well, dark green ones are a strong signal. So these weak drillers might not be strong enough to continue the downward movement to hit the targets. And again, in 2 hours and 40 minutes, we'll see if this drop candle gets engulfed, which, by the way, tested the nearest moving average and basically fulfilled the program, well, in a sense, even the maximum. Well, the absolute maximum would be hitting these 2 targets. But look, we've hit the nearest strong downside target. That's the yellow rectangle, the nearest weak downside target, and we tested the nearest moving average. So overall, well, it's not forbidden to keep going higher. But I emphasize 2 hours and, 40 minutes. How the hour plays out, how this potentially, again, bearish cross on the hourly plays out. In theory, we could see a sharp move up now, and that cross might not even happen. So the hourly could really heat up now, and we'll head to 80,400, 80,900, and higher. Well, let's hope for that. At least altcoins, which, let's say, are holding up quite well during this Bitcoin drop from nearly 83,000 to around 79,300, suggest that the growth likely isn't over. Although if we switch to the stock market, look, there's overbought on the hourly, overbought on the 12-hour, already quite strong on the daily, and strong on the weekly candles. But what's missing here? There are no bearish engulfings here. None on the 4-hour, none on the 12-hour, none on the daily. There were even strong drillers here, but the market ignored them, right? Buyers are apparently stronger than the drillers. And so, for now, everything points toward growth, well, continued growth. At least you shouldn't be shorting the stock market right now. Yes, I have a small short open on the S&P relative to my balance, and it's already down about $400 or $500. But whatever, I'll hold. Then, when I see a reversal pattern, I'll just enter with a larger volume, and I think I'll turn this loss into a profit. That's it. Subscribe to the channel. Well, although you're probably already subscribed since you're watching this video, hugs and kisses. It's 12:20 in Kyiv. Now I'll record another video for the main channel. Well, there will be an analysis on the QuantFury platform, and there's a slightly different approach there. I recommend watching that one too. Review finished. Love you all.